Well, if we take a live look at radar, we have a pretty quiet afternoon ahead of us, but that will change as we head into the evening hours. If we take a wider look at it, we can see some very light indications of possibly some freezing drizzle starting up in very southwestern Minnesota. Going to take some time to make its way over into our neck of the woods, but it will get here and we will likely see some sort of ice accumulation with it as we go into the overnight period. In response to that, there is a winter weather advisory listed in the purple, mainly for counties near and north of I-94 for now, starting, I should say, 9 p.m. tonight all the way into noon tomorrow for mainly that freezing rain risk. Now, we could possibly see some counties further to the south extended in this as we go later on into the evening. It'll be a lot easier to tell once that freezing rain gets a little bit closer into the area. For now, folks north of I-94 are definitely seeing the highest potential to see ice accumulation going into your Tuesday morning commute. So let's track it out. We could see some precipitation entering into the area as early as the later evening hours tonight, although it will start fairly light. Not really seeing any of the more significant or substantial freezing rain until we get later into the evening hours, likely after about 8 p.m. You can see most of the pink here, which would indicate the possibility of freezing rain is mainly along I-90 and to the north. As we go later into the overnight period, that's where we start to see some questions because there is some rain that could be mixing in. If you pay attention to the temperatures, we're seeing very close to freezing temperatures. Eau Claire at around 33, La Crosse at 31. So even a degree difference could really make that difference between whether we see normal, easygoing rain or if we see some of that freezing potential. Either way, in the overnight period, that's where we're going to see the heaviest potential, whether that falls as a rain or a freezing rain. Still, maybe even some lingering amounts as we go into tomorrow morning. Again, mainly along and north of I-90 is going to see the main risk for that chance. Either way, as we go into the afternoon hours, apart from maybe a little bit of activity south of the I-90 corridor, we should be on the drier side once we get into tomorrow afternoon. So the main impacts are really going to be in the morning commute. Here's the potential to see some ice accumulation on the roadways. Wherever we're seeing that orange is going to be the most likely chance to have ice accumulation as we go into tomorrow morning, especially for areas further into central Wisconsin. That's where we're seeing the trend kind of leaning towards now, but really everybody north of I-94, as we're seeing with that winter weather advisory, is going to see the highest chance for any accumulation. But these blues are still showing the possibility of at least a little bit of accumulation on the roadways. So really everybody along I-90 and to the north should expect at least the chance for some slick spots to form on the road. Where the heaviest potential for ice is going to be is still going to be a little bit uncertain until that event actually starts. Either way, overnight lows really wavering around that freezing line because of that drizzle chance. 28 in La Crosse, 27 in Eau Claire. As we go into tomorrow's highs, then we actually warm up quite a bit, getting back into the mid-30s as we go throughout the rest of the week. Actually getting close to the 40s by the middle of the week. So it'll be a nice little warm up, hopefully doing some good on melting any ice accumulation that actually does happen. But again, that'll be the main part of the forecast going into tomorrow morning because we could see some impacts on the roadways.
Okay, yeah, we will have those updates in the morning for sure. So thanks for that, Nicole.